Good evening, hello, welcome everybody to a cheeky wrestling watch along. You join us halfway through the WWE, the AEW Rampage buy-in. We're halfway through Bobby Fish versus Lee Moriarty. It's heating up. But the reason we're doing this now, look, we could have skipped the buy-in, okay? We could have gone straight to Rampage. But you best believe that when one of the dream matches of my life, Bryan Danielson versus Minoru Suzuki, is kicking off, you best believe I'm here for it. You best believe I'm here for it. Andromeda G, I am very hyped. I cannot lie to you. I am very, very hyped. But it's a big night of wrestling. It's a big night of wrestling. Of course, the AEW and WWE wars are raging on. They're heating up. They're intensifying, as it were. And, you know, it's kicking off. It's kicking off, so I'm going to be here to watch it all live. We're watching Bobby Fish versus Lee Moriarty right now. Bobby Fish has got the better of him. I suspect he's going to win. We're quite deep into this match already. I've missed a lot of it. And I also missed Conti versus Santana, Garrett, so I'm going to have to go back and watch that. Oh, it looked all right from what I saw. But the war is intensifying tonight. We have supersized WWE Smackdown happening right now on FS1 in America and, of course, on BT Sport in the UK. I'll probably have that open in a second. Once this match is over, I'll try and open it up just to have a gander at what's going on over there, because it is a big night. However, Rampage has got a lot of big stuff, all big stuff that we're going to be getting involved with. But Bobby Fish is looking to put away Lee Moriarty here. Big super kick to the face. It's done. It's 1, 2, 3. It's over. Bobby Fish, of course, surprise signing for AEW in the last week, making a big dubs. What are the outfits like at the moment? Bobby Fish, right? He's got like small trunks on, kind of Speedos, but a little bit longer, a little bit down. Like they're sort of square, like rectangular trunks, right? Rectangular trunks that are red and black. Decent. But Bobby Fish also has the sort of beard going on, all that stuff. Whereas Lee Moriarty, similar size trunks, but he's got a nice sort of baseball design. They look a bit like a baseball shirt. A pinstripe design. Submit Lee, hello, nice to see you. A buy-in for Rampage. They're doing a special buy-in for AEW Rampage tonight because of SmackDown going head-to-head with them. So they've got a special buy-in show which includes one of my dream matches, Bryan Danielson versus Minoru Suzuki, which is going to happen quite soon, I suspect, because both of the other buy-in matches are complete. Santana Garrett versus Conti ends in a Conti victory. Bobby Fish has just defeated Lee Moriarty. And so, yeah. Big things, big movements. Rampage does indeed air tonight. Rampage airs tonight on Fight TV around the world. ITV if you're talking. I don't know if it's on ITV in the UK actually, but it's definitely on Fight. And then in the US, of course, it's on TNT. How hyped am I out of 100? For Danielson Suzuki, it's 100. It's a solid 100. You can't get many more dream matches than that for me specifically. Yeah, like I can't think of many. You're talking like maybe you're getting a I don't know, you get Tomohiro Ishii involved somehow, and then we're talking top levels. But you know, it's pretty frippin' high. So maybe not 100, maybe 100's going too far. Maybe we're saying 97 or something. It's pretty frippin' high. I got confused with the reschedule of Dynamite. Yeah, no, that's tomorrow. That is tomorrow. Which I might do a watch along for that. Yeah, I haven't decided yet. I don't know what I'm going to do watch alongs in general, to be honest with you. This is a very ropey thing that I've just set up last second. I made the border that you're witnessing within about 10 minutes. And the rest of it, the thumbnail was even quicker. So it was very ropey, but I might do one tomorrow. But yeah, the rescheduled Dynamite is tomorrow. Tonight is Rampage. Rampage and Smackdown. Actually, while we're waiting for Danielson Suzuki, which is up next, I'm gonna open up SmackDown, see what's going on over there on the blue brand. Do you know what I mean? See what's happening. Because I am very interested to see what WWE do. I mean, we've got, obviously, they talk a lot of, the AEW aren't competition, they aren't competition. Bro, you put AEW, you're putting your main show up against AEW here in a half-hour slot. Very clearly you're acting like a competition, so they're probably stepping up their game. So I'm intrigued what they're seeing, intrigued what they're doing. We'll have to find a way to watch that though very quickly. But thank you for coming to submit. I appreciate it. We're currently just getting the build up for Suzuki versus Daniel Bryan. It's not quite kicking off as of yet. And to be honest, we don't need it. I don't need it specifically, because I'll be real with you. I know what's going on. Just let them in, let them start eating each other, and I'm happy. You know, I'm happy. There we go. If you're interested in what's happening on Friday Night Smackdown, says Nakamura and Boogs are out doing a big old dance, as they're one to do. Here we go. Okay, right. Okay, it's going to be a moment for me. Suzuki's theme has begun. I don't know what to do with myself. I've got Shinsuke Nakamura on one screen and Minoru Suzuki on the other. It's a good time. Part of me wants to try and sing along, but I don't speak Japanese, so I'm going to leave it out. But will they cut him off like they did last time? I doubt it. I've also just remembered that this match won't have ad breaks. Imagine that. Oh, wrestling right now is the best it's been in such a long time. It really doesn't matter, right? If you're super into AEW, if you're super into WWE, if you're super into both of them, right? It really doesn't matter. If you're into any of the other many, many amazing promotions around the world, it really does not matter. There is so much good wrestling happening right now. So much stuff that one could only have dreamed of before. I'm currently watching Minoru murder Grandpa Suzuki, walk out, towel on, music blaring, towards an AEW ring to face not even Daniel Bryan, Bryan Daniels. It's just wild. He's walking around the ring. He's firing him up with the clap. He wants it. He loves it. He demands respect, and you darn well better give it to him. Yeah, Murder Grandpa. That's his name, right? He's Murder Grandpa-ish. Here we go. Here's the cat. Wait for it. Come on, boys. Come on. He's here. Oh, my God. I had to turn it up for that. Just had to absorb it, deal with it for a second, you know what I mean? Oh, my God. What's the time? We've got half an hour left of this show. This match could... Oh, my... The thing is, right... Part of me wants to think, if they let this match play out, it could be a match of the year contender. Here comes Daniel Bryan. To me, it goes, maybe it will be a match of the year contender if they let it play out. But the truth is, they probably will let it play out, because this is AEW. They tend to deliver on stuff like that. They tend to let that kind of thing happen. They don't tend to be. They don't tend to pull too many dodgy finishes and whatnot. So Suzuki's squaring up to him. So the idea of this could be a match. This could legitimately be a match of the year contender, and it's on free on YouTube, commercial free, not even a pay-per-view. I'm loving Minoru Suzuki at the moment. He's in America. He was in America for his stuff with Moxley and whatnot. And obviously, due to COVID stuff, I suspect he didn't want to have a wasted trip. So he's just stayed around for a while, and he's just doing random stuff. He's going to rock up on Impact soon. He's been doing GCW. Him and Danielson are currently head to head. Danielson can barely contain his smile. Suzuki has that sort of murderous grin on his face, as he usually does. The bell is about to ring. Bryce Remsburg, a braver man than me, going to check Minoru Suzuki that he's ready, just to make sure he doesn't have anything. I would not do that. That man is scary. That man is scary. We're getting big yes chants right now. Daniel Bryan is soaking it in. He's on the turnbuckle. Suzuki's pacing. Both men are in opposite corners. The bell has rung. Bryan Danielson versus Minoru Suzuki is happening. Is happening in the year 2021. Who would have thought? When Daniel Bryan retired 4 years ago from his neck injury, I think it was like 4, who would have thought that him versus Minoru Suzuki would happen, not even in a WWE ring, not even in WWE competitor ring, not even in New Japan. This is insane. And they begin to lock up. Daniel Bryan, one of the best American technical wrestlers of his generation, if not the best, against Minoru Suzuki, MMA legend, MMA forefather, and absolute lunatic. And Bryce Remsburg's the ref. It's just good times. It's just good times. Starting off with some joint manipulation. It's what you love to see. It's what you want from these two. You want it to start off technical before we just get to chops. If we have two intact chests by the end of this match, I will be severely disappointed. We're going to see chops. We're going to see kicks from Daniel. This is wrestling chants from the crowd as they lock up. Suzuki looking for an octopus stretch. Interesting haircut he has here. Minoru Suzuki has a legendarily terrifying haircut. You see, you think it's weird looking at it on the telly. I've seen it live, like this close. Woof, woof, woof. Daniel Bryan rocking a top knot. Maybe that's the one you're talking about. Maybe that's the one you're talking about. Bryan on top of Suzuki right now. Got him by the leg. Ooh. Daniel Bryan was looking for a knee bar. Suzuki gets to the ropes. Suzuki threatening the crowd. He's not happy. He is not happy at all. The men square back up. Early stages, Daniel Bryan getting the better of Minoru. Minoru may be looking to change tack. He's got Bryan in the corner, looking for perhaps a lock-up. Bryan goes for a single leg takedown, gets dragged all the way across the ring. Suzuki tries to get back to the ropes. Dragon screw, reversed by Suzuki, looking for some sort of choke. Daniel regains control of the leg and then just strikes with it. Just a strike kick. This feels like to an extent, this feels like a Ring of Honor match from like 2006 or whenever Daniel Bryan was in his peak. Pure championship, just doing bits, and the crowd are eating this up right now. Imagine having bought a ticket, right, for this Rampage show before this got announced, and then finding out you're getting this on top of everything else. On top of CM Punk, on top of Chris Jericho and America Top Team and all that stuff. Mad. Bryan hits him with an uppercut. And here we go. This is what we've been waiting for. Both of them just striking each other. Suzuki looking for a chop. He's loading it up. He's loading up the cannon. He hits him with a big one. Straight to the chest. Bryan doubles over. This is what you want to see. You don't get a top tier Suzuki match without one of these encounters, and I'm totally okay with that. Bryan responds with a big kick to the chest. Suzuki shakes it off, steps back up. The crowd shush in anticipation for the chop. It's loud. Bryce Remsburg needs it. Am I breathing heavy with excitement? Yeah. It's that. I mean, an asthma pump as well would be nice. Maybe useful. Maybe as the match goes on, I might need it. I've seen a lot of Suzuki live. He was Rev Pro champion for a while. I saw him quite a lot during that time. This feels like he knows what he's doing. He's playing to the crowd and he knows it. Big strike from Danielson. Big leg strike straight into Suzuki. Suzuki steps back up. He's looking for the uppercut. He's winding it up, Pete Townsend style. Hits him with the forearm. Hits him with a huge forearm. Danielson crumpled on the floor. Suzuki with his tongue out. He wants it. Holy shit. Chants from the crowd from a forearm. Again, Bryan Danielson retired like 4 years ago or whatever it was because of a neck injury. Couldn't wrestle again. Made such an insane comeback. And now he's going to head with a striking match with Minoru Suzuki of all people. There are very few you want to strike. Like, you don't want to strike Minoru Suzuki. And Daniel's coming in with the yes kicks. Flips him over with a headlock. And then starts hammering at his shoulders. The crowd are eating it. Eating it. Suzuki gets to the bottom rope. Daniel starts striking out. He doesn't allow the time. Suzuki drops outside the ring. This is everything I could want from professional wrestling. And Suzuki hits him with the arm. That sort of tarantula-esque arm bar on the ropes. I can never remember what its actual name is. Forced to let go for the count. Rolls out and starts attacking Bryan on the outside. Bryan does not want to be here. Suzuki Goon in general, absolute madmen on the outside. Everything they do, complete chaos, hardest part of the ring. He does not want to be here. I mean, Suzuki only has a 10 count instead of his usual 20 in New Japan, but that will not stop him from doing as much damage as humanly possible. Hammerlocks Bryan's arm, pushes him into the ring post, doing damage. He storms around the ring. He's looking for a chair. The security guard who was sat on one looked very nervous as Suzuki walked towards him, and to be fair, I suspect that's fine. I would be too. He goes back into the ring, allows Bryan to come back in. Excalibur going through Minoru Suzuki's rap sheet of just insane achievements, both in professional wrestling, and MMA, of which he has a lot. Suzuki probably in his 50s at this point. He must be. And he still busts off 5-star classics like there's no tomorrow. He's tying Daniel Bryanson up in a knot right now. Bryan in a lovely burgundy, in his classic burgundy trunks, I think. You know, certainly been his classic for the last decade or so. You've got the sort of main burgundy with the grey and white stripes down the side. Suzuki with the classic black trunks. The black and grey. Oh, Suzuki just putting in a huge hammerlock on Bryan. Suzuki is tying him up. Early stages, this was all Daniel Bryan, but since then, Suzuki going to the outside of the ring, almost just trying to escape Bryan, and he's turned the tide here. This is what happens when you go outside against Suzuki. You can't be going out there. And we're back on the outside of the ring, and Danielson's just getting slapped around. Danielson is just getting slapped around. We're just having a look at the rest of the Rampage card, which is big. It is big. Suzuki goes into the ring post. We're getting a look at that rest of that card. We've got Ruby Soho versus the Bunny. We have the Inner Circle versus the Men of the Year. And who else is it? Is it Masvidal? No. Junior Dos Santos in his wrestling debut, MMA legend. What was the other match? Oh yeah, of course, it's CM Punk. CM Punk versus Someone. I've written it underneath. Matt Sydal. It's Matt Sydal. I can't think of anything apart from just watching this right now. Big card. That's starting in about 18 minutes or so. But before then, we have the end of this match. Scary, to be honest. Him, not you. He's a scary geezer. He's a very scary geezer. I've said this before, but he once walked straight past me. Was it York Hall or was it Walthamstow? I can't remember, but it was at a Rev Pro show. And he walked past me to get to a merch table or to get backstage or something. When I was standing in a crowd talking to some people, and he was like this close to me. And he only goes up to about an air on me, but I tell you what, I've never moved so quickly. I'll tell you that much for a fact. Suzuki firing up off the yes strikes from Bryan. The kicks are coming in, and Suzuki is refusing to stay down. Bryan lifts him up by the arms and starts just hammering down on Suzuki. Bryan flips into the bridge. He's got both the arms in for Suzuki again. It's one of those moves I've seen. I don't know the name of. He's keeping the pressure in on Suzuki. Again, there's not many people who can tie up Suzuki like this. He is one of them. You're talking him. You're talking Zack Sabre Jr. There's not many others. Looks like a spine injury waiting to happen. Yo, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. Bryan puts Suzuki into the corner, starts the chop kick combo. Chop kick, chop kick. And Suzuki stares him down as he does it. Bryan goes for the corner drop kick, hits it. Suzuki has a beautiful drop kick of his own, hasn't hit it yet. And Suzuki grits his teeth and just screams. They go head to head for a moment. Bryan thinks about it and then starts hitting him. Reversal from Suzuki. Big boot in the corner. Off the ropes. Big PK from Minoru Suzuki. And now Daniel's the one who fires back up. A second PK and a second fire up. I'm aware I keep calling him Daniel Bryan, but right now I'm having a moment. I'm having a moment. Suzuki lines up a third, another big PK. Danielson tried to get up, couldn't. Pin for a 2 count. Pin for a 2 count. The crowd are now booing Suzuki, who's getting into his own zone here, just kicking Daniel Bryan around in the head. This is classic Suzuki. Suzuki doesn't want to just beat you. He wants to humiliate you. That's what he does every match. He wants to make you feel crap as he does it. He doesn't just want to pin you to the mat. He wants you to give up and feel demotivated. And he's trying it here. Although Danielson's firing back. Secret Reversible goes into the Fujiwara armbar. He's got it locked in. Bryan Danielson even is trying to get towards the ropes, but the Fujiwara armbar is in from Suzuki. He's retching it back. Chants from the crowd as Daniel Bryan does make it to the ropes. This is the thing about Suzuki, right? I love him dearly, but he's just a baddie. Do you know what I mean? The way he's impossible not to hate, but you love to hate him. Remsburg getting very brave, stepping on Suzuki. Suzuki moves. Remsburg tries to stop Suzuki from his incessant booting in the face. Suzuki just picks him up and moves him to the corner, adjusts his shirt and walks away. And Daniel Bryan reverses it. He's got the lock in. He's got the label lock in. It's not the tightest you're ever going to see. Suzuki's trying to turn it. It's dangerous to turn this, but he's trying it. Danielson's maybe trying to grab the other arm, go into that other submission move he does. I can't remember the name. He's going for it. And he does. He locks it in. Suzuki is tied up on the floor right now. He is screaming in agony. Bryan trying to hold on, but Suzuki rolls to the ropes. He had him. There was a moment there where he did have him in the label lock, and it looked like it could have been over, but Suzuki manages to stop it. Fight forever chants from the crowd here. Rolling over like that, never comfortable. It puts the arm in a dodgy position. You don't want to be doing that. It's not easy to do. But Suzuki does it to get out, and now both men stand up, locked eyes. Evil intent from Suzuki, and they go back to the strikes. Suzuki with the forearm. Bryan returns with one of his own. They're looking at each other right now, and they're just absolutely thwapping each other. Big thwacks. Danielson, Suzuki trading blows. And Suzuki, it looked like he was rocked for a second. He puts his arms behind his back to say, bring it, I can take this. And the strikes begin. Suzuki looks like he's eating a lemon. He's hurt, but he's taking it. He's dropping, but here he comes. I've seen him do it once. I've seen him do it a million times, and it's never not great. And then he unleashes a forearm of his own, and Daniel, after crumpling, and they start firing up on each other. The forearms firing back and forth now way more frequently. Remsburg reacting as only Remsburg can, and now they're just open palm strikes at each other, and they're both down. They're both down after striking each other simultaneously with open palm strikes. Both are down. This is 3 on YouTube. Man. As Bryce Remsburg's trying to count, he's going for the 10 count. Suzuki gets up first, stumbles a little bit, but both of them getting up. Taz calling people who aren't watching this a dumbass. Taz, they can't hear you. They're not watching this, bud. They're not watching this. Bryan and Suzuki head to head go back to the strikes once more. To steal someone else's phrase, big meaty men slapping meat. They are just slapping each other about right now. Who are you betting on? It will be. I'd be shocked if Danielson doesn't win this. I'd be shocked. But my God. I tell you what, they want to make a big statement. You get Suzuki winning this, but it will be, I suspect it will be Danielson. It just has to be. And the crowd are going wild right now. A huge strikes, and after each one, the people get more and more fired up. If I watch this at York Court, this is just, they've been striking each other with forearms for about 5 minutes at this point, and just do it forever. I'm fine with it. I mean, don't, but Danielson changes to the kick. Minoru ducks under, hits him with a sleeper, rolls him back into another sleeper. Daniel tries to respond. He tries to get him in for the Gotch-style pile driver. Just constant reversals right now. Constant reversals. Suzuki has him for the pile driver. Reversal from Bryan. Flips him over. Back to the strikes. He's looking for the knee. Suzuki hits him with the knee. The big running knee. This could be it. 1, 2, 3. It's over. Bryan Danielson wins against Minoru Suzuki in an absolute barnstormer for free on YouTube. Strike after strike after strike. It was close. That ending sequence, reversal after reversal. You have Daniel going for the running knee. You have Suzuki going for the sleeper, trying to get it into that Gotch style like he always does. Rarely works, but he goes for it. Reversal after reversal. We almost had the label lock. We also had a second Gotch style. Bryan hits the ropes. Suzuki hits the ropes. duck under it, and a knee. Bryan with the 1-2-3. Bryan Danielson gets the dub over Minoru Suzuki in what can only be described as an absolute banger. An absolute banger. He's calmed down. He's calmed down a bit. We're getting a run-up down for Rampage right now. CM Punk versus Matt Sydal will kick us off in the first half an hour, commercial-free. You also have Ruby Soho versus The Bunny, and then that main event, the Inner Circle versus the Men of the Year and Junior Dos Santos in his first ever wrestling match. Mad. Absolutely mad. It was as good as I wanted it to be. Hang on a minute. Let's make it look a little bit better while we're here. There we go. Do you know what? Let's add the word Bryan, shall we? Yeah, that was literally everything I wanted it to be. I was concerned that it wouldn't live up to my hype, because obviously that's one of my dream matches. Like the idea of Minoru Suzuki versus Daniel Bryan 3 years ago was a pipe dream. I thought Bryan would be a WWE lifer, and it clearly, when he spoke about joining and how much it meant to him about leaving WWE and how difficult it was for him, obviously it was a big deal, and he probably saw himself as a buy-in. Not only does he have friends, that he has literal family, and high up in that company, head of talent relations. I think John Laurinaitis possibly is at the moment. I'm not sure if he is or he isn't, but I think he is. Literally his kind of father-in-law, stepfather-in-law. I don't know what you want to call it. So the idea of getting to see that was a pipe dream, and yet all of a sudden he joins AEW and it becomes not only a pipe dream but with the Forbidden Door reality, and it lived up to it. I'm shocked it did, but it did. Mia under, that was insane indeed. That was completely and utterly bonkers. Just strike after strike, reversal after reversal. I can't believe it. What a match! Danielson gets the win. Under, what's your favorite match coming up on Rampage? What one are you most excited for? CM Punk versus Matt Sydal. We have the Inner Circle versus the Men of the Year and Junior Dos Santos, and then of course Ruby Soho versus the Bunny. What are you most excited about? But that was mad. WWE Smackdown, which I do have on in a corner as well. We've got Becky Lynch in the ring at the moment, waiting for her main event match to kick off. We of course have half an hour right now. Half an hour of professional wrestling, both commercial-less. Both big matches. CM Punk in one, Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch in the other. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Just a little mad because it's the third loss in a row for Suzuki and AEW. That's a good point. I hadn't even thought about it, to be fair. Yeah, of course, because he lost to Moxley, and then, of course. I didn't even put two and two together there. That is kind of wild. Not surprising, I guess, being that he's coming in as a sort of part-time guy. He's obviously still under contract in New Japan, so it's not entirely surprising, and all of his matches have been against the big guys. He's been against the big dons, and you've had Moxley twice, and now you've had Danielson, so obviously these are some of the biggest people on that card, so it's not shocking to me, but it is kind of mad. But to be honest with you, I'm just happy to see these matches, like, again, Forbidden Door or whatever, but like 3 years ago, before AEW came around, even a year into AEW, we wouldn't have thought New Japan would ever have worked with them, and you would have thought the people who had those contracts we wouldn't have seen Danielson, we wouldn't have seen Punk and people like that going up against people from anywhere, and yet now we're getting it. It's mad. So I'm fine with it, but it is kind of wild. It is kind of wild to think about. I didn't even begin to comprehend that could be true. It's boss time over on a Friday Night Smackdown as Sasha Banks makes her way to the ring for her main event match against Becky Lynch. While on the Rampage buy-in, we have 2 minutes until Rampage. We are getting the hype package for CM Punk versus Matt Sydal. That could be a great match as well. It's just a lot of good matches tonight. It's just a lot of good wrestling on right now. And by right now, I don't mean in general. I mean this second. This second. Of course, on SmackDown, they're hyping up for that Crown Jewel triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's Sasha, Becky, and Bianca Belair. That match could be a banger. It's a shame it's on it's on Crown Jewel, but it could be an absolute banger, an absolute barnstormer. But before that, you have Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. I won't be watching that probably because it'll be on at the same time as Punk versus Sydal, so I'll probably be watching that as this is the Rampage watch along. Welcome. If you haven't already, subscribe and all that good stuff. This is a brand new wrestling channel that I'm still trying to figure out a little bit. Still trying to make my way into what this is gonna be. I make videos on wrestling and West Ham and gaming and stuff, but I'm still trying to figure out what this is exactly. But hey, subscribe, get involved. I'd love to have you around. I'm probably going to do more watch-alongs, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to feel it out. This is all made very last second. It was made very, very quickly. I can't lie to you. In about half an hour, I did the border, I did the thumbnail, I set it all up. It was very, very quick. So, you know, it won't look like this forever. But hey, come get involved if you haven't already. Subscribe. Welcome. Come get involved. And I appreciate you for being here. We're getting many entrances on my screen right now. We have Bianca Belair coming down, I assume, to the side of the ring to watch the Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch match. But Matt Sydal was making his entrance. I said to my girlfriend earlier when I was talking about Andromeda G says she's up. Thank you very much. I said earlier to my girlfriend when I was talking about this that I reckoned Rampage would start with CM Punk's music, and it seems to be that way. It seems to be that way. As the bell has rung over on SmackDown for Sasha versus Becky Lynch. Smart thing to do, to be fair. Rampage is about to start. Rampage is about to start. Taz and Ricky are shouting, start, go now. I'm just refreshing Fight. That's where I'm going to be watching it. Obviously in the UK. And while we're here, why not let's just talk about Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch? Why not? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Current headlock from Sasha Banks. She's got Becky Lynch cinched in. What I've done there is I've clicked on the wrong one. I've clicked on Dynamite as opposed to Rampage because I'm an idiot. There we go. Rampage is about to kick off. I'm watching as much of this Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch match as I can before we go into Rampage. Becky with a roll through hits Sasha Banks, the roll up. Pinning combinations galore right now. I don't know if they're going to have one more ad break before the half an hour of no ads or whether that starts now, but Rampage has begun. The Rampage theme song is kicking off. Do you know what? I really like the Rampage theme song as a theme song, but when you watch on Fight and you don't get the ad breaks, you just get the theme song for like 2 minutes. Not keen on it then. But as a theme song, it bangs. It's Friday. You know what that means. Rampage has begun. Sydal already in the ring. CM Punk's music hits. Cult of Personality begins. The crowd who are fired up / must be quite tired after watching Minoru, Suzuki and Danielson absolutely clobber their heads off, get to see some more clobbering. Big CM Punk chants. Here we go. We are kicking off tonight with CM Punk versus Matt Sydal. A banging match. Two former WWE people know each other, been around each other. And they're tasked with going up against WWE. And you'd have to say, out of all of the people you could put up against WWE, these are the guys you'd probably have it. You'd probably have at least one of these two in that match. And listen, Matt Sydal, obviously he's not on the level of CM Punk in terms of name value in terms of hype, but he's a flipping good professional wrestler. He's a flipping good professional wrestler. And to see him go against CM Punk, it's a good matchup here. As CM Punk gets up on the turnbuckle, he's firing up this crowd. Both men in the ring now, taking off their respective ring entrance wear. As Justin Roberts introduces Matt Sydal, who of course already started in the ring. And here we go. Here we go. CM Punk, Matt Sydal to kick off this week's AEW Rampage. Welcome. If you're new around here, make sure to subscribe. All that good stuff, like the video, all that stuff. Thank you very much for coming. Brand new wrestling channel. Come with me on a journey. Why not? Why not? You know, new stuff coming soon. But before then, CM Punk versus Matt Sydal kicks off AEW Rampage this week. I'm still not over Danielson versus Suzuki. That was nuts. That was completely nuts. And I'm still not over it in any way, shape, or form. However, this isn't a bad way to calm down from it. Opening stages, CM Punk with a headlock takedown. Sydal gets him into an arm drag, puts him in an armbar straight off there. Ice cream bar chants coming from the crowd as these two men begin to square up. It's a weird stage for these two to be in to an extent, because you've just had a main event level match just before this for the live crowd, and if you're watching the buy-in, you've just seen that main event level match between Suzuki and Danielson. And so for them to come out, these opening stages, these open exchanges are going to be interested to see how it plays out. Sydal getting the best of CM Punk here. Lots of side headlock takedowns. Rolls him into a crucifix pin. 2-pin. Would have been shocked if that had gone for free. I can't lie. Would have been shocked if that a little cheeky crucifix pin about a minute into a match got the pin. But you know, he shot for it. He tried it, and you got to respect that. CM Punk with the shock trap pin there on Sydal, who kicks out at 2 and rolls out, and the two men separate across the ring. Sydal probably getting the better of the match so far, but with Punk just showing that he can get a pin at any time. Unlike the rest of his matches so far since he's returned, he's up against Sydal here. He probably has about as much experience as he does. This isn't a new guy. This is someone who's been in the ring for probably about as long. I mean, he must have been in about as long, maybe ever so slightly less, Sydal, but as far as I'm aware, about as long. So it's a different dynamic in this match than his previous fare in AEW so far. Sydal hits him with the bow and arrow stretch. One of those moves I see, and I'm just like, it just looks like it hurts. It just looks like it hurts. I don't like it. It looks like it hurts. Because you get him and you put the knees in and you bend them back, and it just looks like it hurts. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Lots of Spanish from the crowd tonight. When you had Danielson in the ring, of course, they picked up on the fact. Oh, good arm drag from Matt Sydal there, by the way. CM Punk was trying to set him up for one more. Good, nice little cheeky arm drag. But the crowd obviously picked up earlier on the Danielson. There's the whole thing with the yes chant and how he's not allowed to do it because of WWE IP ownership and all that sort of stuff. But the crowd sort of can, but they obviously picked up on that. We're chanting C earlier. They're now chanting one more time in Spanish to two American wrestlers. They're loving the Spanish. Where are they tonight? I can't remember. Is it somewhere close to the border? That would make sense. I can't see the information I need. So who knows? Who knows? There was what I'd say. Could be anywhere. Could be anywhere in the United States. Sydal now starts striking at CM Punk's legs. Big leg kicks. Takes him down. Sydal got him in some sort of weird leg lock thing. Bends over in a weird way, gets him in a headlock as well. That looks like it hurts both men, I can't lie. Sydal's one of those guys who pulls off stuff which just looks like it hurts both of them. And listen, I respect it. I do love a bit of Matt Sydal, but my God, does that look like it hurts? I would not. What I'm saying is I wouldn't pull that move off. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be going for it. Look, if GTS almost went for there, Sydal replies, tries to get one of his own. Just a nice drop kick from Punk, gets him down, hits him with a pin. 2 count. 2 count from Paul Turner there. I'm still not quite used to seeing CM Punk back in a wrestling ring. Do you know what I mean? And it's something to do with the grey in his beard that almost makes it feel unreal to me. Like, it just feels slightly... I don't know. I'm fine with it. I'm loving it. But there's something about it which doesn't quite feel real. Oh, nice big reverse heel kick thing. Leg lariat? It's probably a leg lariat, and that's what we call it. And then Sydal hits him with a similar heel kick. Let's go with heel kick on the Sydal one, and both men down. Sydal with a big double knee strike to CM Punk, who sat in the corner, crumpled up on the floor now. Sydal has the better of him here. And he starts celebrating to the crowd in what can only be described as an ill-advised manner. That's not going to get them A, on your side, or B, it's not going to help you, mate. It's not going to help you get back to it. And it's come back to haunt him. CM Punk with a big body slam onto the hardest part of the ring, the apron. Big body slam. I tell you what, you don't often see a body slam like that on the edge of the apron, and he does. If this is what happens. This is why Sydal shouldn't have gone and celebrated. He started celebrating, and guess what? It's come back to haunt him. Again, you don't often see a body slam on the edge of the ring like that. It's usually something completely and utterly insane, like a pile driver or a whatever. Just a nice little cheeky body slam. Looks painful. CM Punk hits the senton, Guerrero style. Eddie Guerrero flip over the top rope senton. Hits the pose after. I'm not going to do it. I can't. I went like that. Not even close to it, is it? Not even close to it. I'm going to stop that. Crowd want a GTS early. They want this one done. They want to see it. And I suspect they will. But not yet. Punk's ties Sydal up in the Tree of Woe now. And it just starts stomping a mud hole. As a Texas redneck used to say. Well, I guess JR used to say it as opposed to the redneck, but you know what I'm saying. Ooh. Punk went for the slide, couldn't quite get there. Went for like a little cheeky baseball slide type thing against Sydal, who's upside down. Now they start to striking each other. Listen, we're seeing big elbow strikes. Nice pose. Allow me, fam. Allow me. It was a banger. I don't know what you're talking about. Big elbow strikes, and now both men are on top here. Sydal's on the top rope. CM Punk's on the second rope, both in a very precarious position. They're not sort of on top facing the ring. They're both facing the outside of the ring on the sides of the turnbuckles. That makes sense. And both men fall to the floor after simultaneous strikes to the face. And they both spill to the outside, as it were. Big hits. Big hits. Again, no hits seem quite as big after you've just watched Bryan versus Suzuki. But I tell you what, they do tumble. And again, that's another spot you don't see that often. You don't see both men spill to the outside like that often. In fact, I can't remember the last time I saw it. West Ham Peach, my G. Big plays indeed. Peach, how the devil are you, sir? How the devil are you? Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. CM Punk and Sydal just striking out at each other. Big forearm and elbow blows here. Oh, nice spinning kick from Punk. Gets Sydal up. Sydal replies with a reversal of his own. Jumping knee strike. Puts Punk down. Looking for the pin. 2 count. Kick out. I tell you what. That was tight. That was tight. I thought for a second. I thought for a split second it wasn't going to happen, but it did. Sydal again playing to the crowd. It's not going to help him. It's not going to help him. Big neck breaker from CM Punk. Do you know what's good about watching CM Punk wrestle in this day and age a little bit? Is that he has this sort of good base. He has this really solid base of wrestling that and it's like simplistic wrestling, but it's super effective. And obviously we're in an era of like insane, incredible moves, and I'm super into that kind of wrestling. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I'm not. But you're seeing from Punk body slams, neck breakers, stuff that you don't usually see from other wrestlers. Even in the last match where you saw Danielson versus Suzuki, and it was just big blows after big blows. Even when you watch that, and that's kind of simplistic wrestling to some form. It's not the same, is it? It's not the same as watching a guy just body slam another guy, and it just works. And Sydal coming in with a big, I don't know what you want to call it, a hurricane off the top rope, gets a 2 count for his troubles. But it's one of those things that I just love to see CM Punk doing in this day and age. It's something different. It feels different. But a big hurricane runner from Matt Sydal to CM Punk from the top rope there. Punk was on the top, Sydal was on the floor. He jumps up, gets him in the head scissors and pulls him back down. And now he hits him with like a single Boston leg crab from the back. And he's got CM Punk leg locked at the same time to make sure Punk can't move. Do you know what? Again, it's one of these things you don't see often. I'm just enjoying seeing it. Also, Sydal's tights are beautiful. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Real talk, my G. I'm brand new. How are you, Charlie Toe? Thank you, Charlie. I'm good, my G. I'm very good. Thank you very much. I did watch you trolling Titch earlier. I did see it. I laughed. I enjoyed it. Again, it's these moves that you don't see super often. And they're both pulling them out. And it feels kind of new. Again, no Sydal tights. Sydal, man, he has a swag and a style that only he could pull off. Do you know what I mean? Oh, CM Punk looking for the GCS, can't quite get it. Sydal reverses and a big kick upside the head. Punk is down. He should have gone for the cover there. He doesn't. He tries to lift Punk up. He's looking for his finish of the lightning spiral. And to be fair, he hits it. Pin, 1, 2. Punk kicks out right at the end of 2. Genuinely thought that was it for a second. And now Sydal's going to the top rope. Punk's in the perfect position for it. He's looking for it. Punk stops him. Tries to go for a clothesline. Misses. Sydal with a nice reversal. Maybe looking for the crucifix pin. Can't quite get there. Punk sticks up to the GTS. He hits it. GTS. It's over. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk hits the GTS. It's done. CM Punk picks up the win. Unsurprisingly, CM Punk picks in the win against Matt Sydal. But a good showing from Matt Sydal. And again, a lot of moves you don't see often. A good match. It's old school WWF in a new era now. You know this. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like big body slams, big hits. Not like, we're not talking like the maddest stuff. But it works, It works. Great match from CM Punk and Matt Sydal there. And it's the GTS that wins it. The move the crowd wanted to see. A tough match for both men there. Hard fought match. You'd maybe say Sydal got in more than you'd suspect he would have. But Punk and Sydal, a shake of hands in the middle of the ring, and a hug. Good match. Over on SmackDown, Roman Reigns is coming out for his contract signing against Brock for Brock, him and Brock basically, for the match that's happening over in Crown Jewel. Other matches coming up on tonight's Rampage, of course, that I'll be sitting here watching the entire time. We have American Top Team, Junior Dos Santos and the Men of the Year against Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and Sammy Guevara, the Inner Circle. We also have Ruby Soho versus The Bunny. That's after the break. That is after the break. But there you go. CM Punk beats Matt Sydal as we go to an ad break. I'll have a cheeky look at what's going on SmackDown. We have Roman Reigns coming out alongside Paul Heyman for the contract signing. They are taking their time. What did you have for dinner, my man? That's an amazing question, Peach. I had McDonald's. You can see the remnants of it here. I had McDonald's. I went for something a bit different tonight. I'll show you. Boom, 5 chicken selects. You know me. Usually I'd go for the nugs. But instead I went for the 5 chicken selects, large fries, a large Coke, and a crunchy McFlurry. Which was very good. What did you have / are you having? What did you have / are you having, Peach? I'd love to know. You're a fellow food connoisseur, so I bet it's something banging. I'm not keen on... I get it, but I've never been keen on Reigns' new theme music. It's just, it doesn't slap. And the thing is, I really was done with hearing the Shield theme song, right? But... And I think he needed the new theme song to an extent. But like... I don't know, the new one doesn't slap. But then again, I don't know how many of the newer theme songs slap for WWE at the moment, I was a fan of CFOs. CFOS, a lot of people weren't into it. The CFO $, a lot of people weren't into them because of the... And listen, I understand the criticisms. You have the 30-second loops, as people like to call it, all the time. I get it. I understand. But I think what they created, even if they were 30 seconds long, slapped. This new theme song doesn't quite slap. But we are back on Rampage, and we've got a Dark Order promo. And Johnny Hungy himself, being Johnny Hungy, putting out a challenge for the Young Bucks and Adam Cole, saying that they're going to get involved. I think we're going to see Johnny Hungy versus Adam Cole. But out comes Ruby Soho for her match against the Bunny. Love Ruby Soho. Will this fit? My God, it's tight, but it fits. Love that. You love to see it. We are getting Taz singing Soho's theme as he does. And it's one of my, he's doing it still. It's sort of my, I can't concentrate. It's just in my head as he does it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And there is the Bunny standing opposite her. She's ready for a match. She's ready for a match. She doesn't vibe the theme song like Taz does. Shamrock Shakes, am I right? I don't even know what a Shamrock Shake is. I'll be honest with you, Peach. I don't even know what it is. Wally World, my G, how are you, my friend? Is it still real like it was when I was a kid? Of course, bro. Of course it, and it always will be, damn it. It always will be. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Ruby Soho and the Bunny locking up right early doors. Interesting where Soho goes from here, you know? Like, she came in, a lot of fanfare, gets the title match against Britt Baker, loses, I think correctly. I think keeping it on Britt for now is the right decision, as much as I do love Ruby, and I think there will be a future title reign for her. But she's in an interesting space right now where you think, okay, what do you do if you're not going for the title right now? But of course, they've just introduced the TBS title, the secondary title for the women's division. Maybe she'll go into that tournament. Maybe she'll win that. Maybe she'll be big plays in that. But a big knee strike from Ruby Soho early there to Bunny. One, kicks out. Wally, what did you have for dinner? Let's all get involved with dinner chat. Why not? Do you know what I mean? You've both been on watch-alongs I've done before. You know what the drill is. Let's talk food. Do you know what I mean? What did you have for dinner, Wally? Also, how are you, my friend? I hope you're good. It's a Shamrock Shake from McDonald's. I honestly don't know what a Shamrock Shake is. I feel like I should. It's speaking about my heritage. I should know, but it doesn't. Big knee strike from the Bunny there. Knocks Ruby Soho down. I do kind of love Taz on commentary. He is slightly unhinged, but I do love it. The Bunny comes steaming in. Double drop kick to Ruby Soho, who's folded up in the corner. Looks painful. Don't like it, guys. I don't like it. It's not for me, you know. Ruby holds onto the ropes from the Irish whip. Hits him with the back heel trip. She's climbing up to the ropes on the second rope here. Second turnbuckle. The Bunny gets back up as she stops Ruby from climbing up to the top, and then a reversal, and then hits the back of her neck on the top of the turnbuckle. I don't like it. And then the Bunny comes in with the sliding elbow. Ad break. The Bunny working over the back of Ruby Soho's head and neck here. Of course, if you're in America, you won't be able to see this on TNT. It will be currently an ad break. But if you're in the UK and you're watching on Fight, you get to just carry on watching. So, hey, I'll explain to you what's going on. We're seeing the Bunny working over Ruby Soho here again. A lot of her moves have been focused on the back of that neck and head. Lots of big collisions from Ruby Soho. Lots of painful looking things. But Ruby Soho escapes out, starts striking back. Mint ice cream shake. Ooh, that sounds peng. I do like a chocolate. Do you know what's good? Chocolate mint ice cream. Mint ice cream in general is pretty good, but chocolate mint ice cream is very good, Peach. It's very good. I'm very into that. I can't lie to you. The bunny just rubbing Ruby Soho into the turnbuckle and into the ropes with the back of her knee. Well, with the front of her knee into the back of her neck, I should say. Then palmetto cheese spread with bacon bits on biscuits and salami. Oof. Huge moves, Wally. Huge moves. I respect it. I respect it strongly. Sounds beautiful. I had McDonald's. And yes, Peach saying he saw the shirt, bro. I saw the shirt on his show earlier. He was rocking it. He was looking fresh, looking funky fresh. Big strikes back and forth going here. Ruby Soho trying to fight back. The bunny is on top. She's taking damage. Ruby is fighting back. She's kicking out. She's lashing out. She's trying to get back into this competition. But right now, it's all going the bunny's way. Those big early moves to the back of the neck and head. Working a treat. Sunset flip roll up. 2 count for Ruby Soho there. And then the bunny strikes her straight back down again. Straight back down again. Mint chocolate ice cream's my fave. It's Peng. I don't know if it's my favorite. It might be. I don't know, but it's so good. I used to get it when I used to go Greenwich as a kid a lot. Right, we used to go Greenwich a lot, especially during the summer. And there was this like little ice cream shop just down the road from Greenwich Park itself. And you could get like this mint chocolate chip ice cream and beautiful. Beautiful. Ruby Soho in a headlock here. The bunny just trying to wear her down. She's trying to wear Ruby Soho down here. Who's taking a lot of damage early doors in this one. Ruby with a nice reversal though. Hits up with a roll up. 1, 2. 2 count. Bunny kicks out. Super kick to the gut. And again, she's back on top of the runaway. And then just throws her out of the ring. Just exits her. Get out, she says. Not interested. But then she follows up. So clearly she's a bit interested. I've got the bunny in this one, says Wally. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I've got Ruby Soho. I'd say Ruby Soho. But, you know. We'll see how it goes. Of course, TBS Championship tournament coming up. Big win. This would be a big win for the bunny against Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho coming in with a lot of hype. A lot of momentum. I think she's had 4 matches in AEW so far. Won 3, lost 1. So it'd be a big win from Bunny. But the Bunny, to be fair, is putting in some good work right now. I'll bet Ruby Soho because her name's... Well, you know. Her song is based on her name is based on a song by Rancid. Destination, Ruby, 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 Ruby Soho. I'm turning into Taz here, just singing the songs. But we are back from the ad break. Back from the ad break, and these two are going at it in the ring, striking each other with forearms like they're Suzuki and Danielson. You love to see it. It's a theme throughout the episode. And Soho does a nice block there and starts unleashing hell upon the bunny. Soho's firing up. She's getting back on top of this now. Irish whip reversal. The bunny puts Soho into the corner. Big back elbow from Soho. Bounces off the turnbuckle. Launches the bunny into the second turnbuckle. She's all over this now. Runs the opposite length. Throws her into the other corner. Big bulldog. Well, shoulder charge. Big rugby tackle, you know what I mean? That was such an accurate rendition. You're going to get a copyright claims. You're not wrong. I probably will. You know? And I'd be fine with that, you know? Because it would only serve to prove my musical abilities. Big running strike from Ruby. Hook of the leg. 2 count from Bryce Remsburg. Ruby starting to put together lots of moves here. She's getting much back on top of this game, like she wasn't in the first time. Fireman's carry from the bunny reversed. The bunny reverses again. Out from the corner. a second back elbow from Ruby Soho. She's going for the same move again. You don't want to go for the same move twice in professional wrestling. That is a bad maneuver. You never ever go for the same route. The bunny's just hit a cheeky Nando's kick on Ruby Soho, who's stuck in the corner. She goes up to the top hit. Oh my giddy aunt! She hits a second rope German suplex, only for a 2 count there. But the bunny hitting Hager's combination of big moves there. A cheeky Nando's kick. I don't know if it has another name. I just know it by Ospreay's name, which is the cheeky Nando's. Leaves Ruby stunned on the second rope. Gets up and hits her with a German. Was looking for the rabbit hole. Backslide counter. 1, 2, 3. Ruby Soho gets the win. Who came into the ring last? The bunny or Ruby Soho's? That's who'll win. It was Ruby Soho, and she did win. So you were correct, Wally. You were correct on how those things work out. And out from behind on Ruby Soho, she was celebrating on the edge of the on the entranceway, and the super bad girl Penelope Ford comes out to help her tag team partner, and they are now just putting the boot in on Ruby Soho in the center of the ring. This is the kind of terrible baddie maneuvers you would expect from these two, from the bunny and the super bad girl. This has been bubbling over since All Out and the Battle Royale when they went. These lot were all fighting each other. And the super bad girl has got the brass knuckles out. It's like William Regal in his prime. She's going for Ruby. Clobbers her. She is out cold in the middle of the ring. The super bad girl and the bunny stand tall over Ruby Soho after the brass knuckles clonk Ruby Soho out. Bryce goes to the aid of her friend. And he ends them. We get an advert for tomorrow night's Saturday Night Dynamite. Dante Martin goes up against Malachi Black in a very exciting match. The Lucha Brothers and a masked and Pat go up against Andrade and a masked tag team partner. Very interesting. And the World Title Eliminator Tournament, which is coming up, will be announced tomorrow alongside Jon Moxley versus Wheeler Yuta, which, to be honest, could be an absolute banger. Kiera Hogan will take on the super bad girl Penelope Ford. Great to see Kiera Hogan getting a shout. She's been excellent for a long time. And then if you wanted more Bryan Danielson, you get it. He'll be up against Bobby Fish tomorrow in what could also be an absolute banger. And then on Rampage next Friday, the TBS Women's Championship Tournament will be announced, which of course is the women's secondary title, a second women's title for AEW, as well as Pac versus Andrade 2. Bangers, just announcing banger after banger. But up next, it's the main event of Rampage tonight. It's the Inner Circle versus the Men of the Year and Junior Dos Santos making his wrestling debut. MMA legend Junior Dos Santos. And we're getting a backstage interview now with America's Top Team and the Men of the Year and the Inner Circle being interviewed by Mark Henry. Very interested to see how Junior Dos Santos works out in the ring. Of course, his first ever, never seen him wrestle before. He's never wrestled before. It's very interesting to me. Whereas you've got on the opposite side of the ring, you've got Chris Jericho, who has wrestled for a bit. Tell you what, Dan Lambert and Jericho, both very good on the mic. Jericho says there is no one crazier in AEW than Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle, and says he'll see them in the ring. And it finishes by calling them bitches. So you'll have to see it. These are the extras we love to see. You love to just see a bit of post-match collaboration. You know what I mean? Brass knuckle tings, indeed. Like I say, interested to see how Junior Dos Santos works out. Never wrestled before, so be interested to see what kind of capacity he's going to be involved in this match. Him and the Men of the Year, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, all ego himself. they've been doing this thing with American Top Team for a while, and this is sort of what it's been building to. It'd be frustrating if they lose almost, but like you sort of need them to gain a bit of momentum because they've been running their mouth a lot, but not been competing too much. So you need to see them get a little bit of momentum here, but we'll see what happens. I would suspect it would be the Inner Circle, Jericho, Hager, and Sammy Guevara's to lose. Three very strong competitors, one of them TNT champion, of course. Charlita, who was the hillbilly family of wrestlers? There was three of them. Well, are you talking about? There was a couple. You had Hillbilly Jim, who was obviously the main guy, and all that. That wasn't Hillbilly Jim. That was who did the ho? Who did that? He did that. Who was that? That wasn't Hillbilly Jim. What was his name? I can see him in my head. I'm frozen under the lights. Literally, I can't remember his name. What were they called? We had the Bushwhackers as well, of course, but I don't think that's who you're talking about. I can see them in my head, Peach, but I can't get the name. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, that was Hacksaw. Thank you very much. Yeah, and he came up with the 2x4. That was Hacksaw. You're 100% correct about that. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Hillbilly Jim. I can't remember. I've gone wild. I don't remember. And I don't know how. Will this fit in this gap? I don't know if it will. Versus, who was it? It was Menia. America, no. Men of, no. We'll go with Inner C v America Top Team. No, Men of the Year. We'll try Men of the Year. Men of the Year. There we go. Nope, that didn't fit. I'll just make it a bit smaller. We'll deal with the left. Do you know what? Men of the Year, no. Versus Men of the Year. That'll have to do. MK Osborne. Thank you. Yes, MK Osborne. Thank you very much. Uncle Elmer, Cousin Junior. Yes. They were three weirdos, the family. I mean, you say it bluntly, Peach, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I froze up in headlights there. I could literally just only think of Hillbilly Jim and no one else. It's all I could see in my head was Hillbilly Jim. That overly tall dude in dungarees. It's all I could see in my head. You know? Going back to the old history of WrestleMania VHSs I had. I say VHSs, it was only one, the history of WrestleMania, the one that had recaps of WrestleMania 1 through 9. I could see Hillbilly Jim. I think he was in that. Was he in that Battle Royale? No, was he in that Battle Royale? The one in which the Fridge football player won. American football player won. I think he was. I think that's what I'm seeing in my head. I don't remember. It's a long time since I've watched those. I can't lie. It's a long time since I've watched those. We're getting ready for our main event here on AEW Rampage this week. It is the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and TNT champion Sammy Guevara versus America's Top Team, Junior Dos Santos in his first ever wrestling match, and the Men of the Year, Scorpio Sky and All Ego, Ethan Page. And we are getting Judas as the Inner Circle come out. I'm not going to lie. I really didn't like Judas before AEW. I really didn't. I just thought it was such a meh song. And now, after 2 years of it being advertised directly at me, I think it's a banger. You can say what you want about advertising. It clearly works. It clearly works. But hey, listen, if you're new around here, subscribe. Brand new wrestling channel. Got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm still trying to figure out how it goes. Like I said earlier, this border and stuff was made in half an hour. This border and the thumbnail was made really super quickly. So this will all look different when I do future watch-alongs and other future videos as well. But hey, listen, if you're new around here, drop a subscribe. I genuinely appreciate it. And if you're just here watching, I appreciate it as well, to be honest with you. The Godwins. The Godwins! The Godwins! That's what I was... Yes, MK. That's exactly what... The Godwins. Thank you so much. Oh, my God. It just happens. The second you said it, thank you so much. That's exactly what I was thinking about. The Wyatt family were also sick. Judas in my mind, indeed. Tell you what, if they've come for this Rampage taping, they would have seen a lot of big names on this card, and in big matches as well. Danielson, Suzuki, Jericho, Punk, and we're getting an early Dan Lambert promo. Dan Lambert running the crowd down. The crowd, there are very few people who get boos like Dan Lambert does, to be fair to him. I don't always love what he says, but I tell you what, he gets the crowd going. He's out here with, of course, Junior Dos Santos. He's out here with the Men of the Year. And Jorge Masvidal. Two MMA legends. One of them taking part in this match. I remember the fridge playing NFL. The Chicago Bears were using to run into that first. It's from the 1 yard line. Crazy times. He was a big bloke. He would come in, just body check a guy in that rumble they were flying over. I just realized I should probably put Junior Santos in there. That was my only exposure to him, but he was a big geezer when he was a big geezer. Junior Dos Santos, the longest, I think they were saying he has the longest unbeaten streak in the UFC heavyweight division. And he's having a wrestling match in AEW. Love that. Love that. But it's a trios match here. That means it's a 6-man tag where if you go outside the ring, someone can step up straight into the ring. No tags necessary. I was starting off with Scorpio Sky versus Samuel Guevara himself. Sammy Guevara. Maybe it's how I'll say that. 2 count from Guevara. Big back elbow. These two can go quick. These two are very, very good. Aubrey Edwards reffing this one. Ready to just tell everyone to just back off. Big backflip from Guevara. Into that drop kick. Then the kip up. That slow delayed kip up. That makes no sense to me at any point. The Spanish God. And the tag comes in for Christopher Jericho. Big clothesline takes out Scorpio Sky. And he rolls into the corner. And he tags in Junior Dos Santos, who straight away goes to work on Jericho, starts striking him. Jericho tries to lock up. Dos Santos having none of that, just absolutely clobbering him. Not used to the rules of not being able to go up against the ropes here. Gets pulled back by Aubrey Edwards, tries to charge in. Jericho hits him with a drop kick, and then a big boot from Dos Santos keeps Jericho back down, and he's just clobbering. They don't look super. They don't look. He's used to being able to actually clobber a guy. But here we go. The tag in, and now Hager comes in. An actual, genuine MMA fighter. Unbeaten in Bellator so far. Jake Hager, undefeated in mixed martial arts in general, I think, as well. And they're sort of going for it in a bit of a. It's far from. Don't get me wrong. It's far from a shoot here, but they're teeing up against each other, and Junior Dos Santos puts Hager back into the corner, starts hitting in on him. Hager picks him up. Big slam. Big running slam. And now Hager starts hammering down. Nice roll by Junior Dos Santos. I'll tell you what, he's doing for his first match. He's doing all right. And a big knee strike. And in comes Scorpio Sky. I tell you what, I was interested when this storyline started with the Men of the Year, with America's Top Team, because there was a lot of running their mouth. But if the MMA guys aren't going to get in the ring, you can't really pay that mouth running off. And you would hope that rubs off on the Men of the Year, and to an extent it will and has. But at the same time, I was interested to see how that plays out, right? Because you're like, how are they going to pay that off? Oh, Jericho slides out the ring here, and he's squaring up to Masvidal. And Lambert's telling him to get away, but Masvidal is not shook. And Ethan Page from behind comes in and clobbers Jericho. And to be fair, JDS, Junior Dos Santos, he's getting in the ring and he's doing his thing and he's looking all right doing it. Masvidal's getting involved on the edge of the ring. Not in an official match capacity, but in a celeb, you know, I'm on the edge of the ring causing issues kind of way. You know, love to see it. Love to see it. If you're watching America, it's gone to ad break, but for us it carries on and it's a pin for Scorpio Sky. 2 count. Kebab things tonight, creamy garlic sauce and hot sauce seafood style fish. Flipping heck. I tell you what, Peach, you do love fish. You do love fish, and I can respect that. You gotta respect that. You do love a fish. I love fish as well, to be fair, but you do love it. Here's the thing I'll say that probably, I don't know if you know this, I've never had a kebab. Never eaten a kebab in my life, and I feel like I'm missing out, but I just never have. Just never have. Now Scorpio Sky getting involved with the booze here, just digging in at Jericho's teeth, and now Junior Dos Santos is in. Jericho lost in the corner, and he's just clobbering Jericho. He's down on the floor, and a tag back to Scorpio Sky. I tell you what, first match these people have all wrestled together. First match Junior Dos Santos have ever wrestled, and I tell you what, he's good tag team work. And Lambert from the outside, just slapping Jericho and Eco Page. Just rubbing it in. I tell you what, it's good tag team work here. You'd expect it from Inner Circle and the actual wrestlers in this match, but JDS is getting involved and quick tags Jericho isolated in the corner here, getting tenderized as your boy Excalibur just said. Oh, Jericho rolls through. He's looking for the walls of Jericho. He's looking for the Lion Tamer. Ethan Page reverses it. And then mounts Jericho and just starts openly hitting him. Closed fists. Stands up and celebrates after Aubrey Edwards tells him to stop. Hits one of these. You love to hate him. You love to hate Ego Page. You still suck chants coming from the crowd. Jericho fighting back now. Big chops. Ricky Starks getting very excited over the eye poke there. Ethan Page pulling as Jericho was trying to fight back, just hits him with the rake to the eyes, pokes his eyes, and Ricky Starks on commentary loved it. Loved every second of it. Screaming the words eye poke, the eye poke. Scorpio Sky taking Jericho into the high risk district. Jericho's on the second turnbuckle here. Scorpio Sky setting him up for something. Looking for maybe a superplex off that second rope. Aubrey's counting him down. Aubrey Edwards, the ref's counting him down, trying to stop. Jericho fights back, knocks Scorpio Sky down to the floor. Jericho, top rope. Flying crossbody straight into the pin. 1, 2. Kick out. Kick out from Sky, who gets back in control of the match. Ethan Page rubbing it in. We're back from the ad break now as Junior Dos Santos makes his way back into the ring. Former UFC heavyweight champion Junior Dos Santos. He has Jericho above his head on his shoulders. Oh, lovely power. Big power slam. I tell you what, a nice power slam as well. Got some whip on that. Some torque. You'll have to see it. Cover. 2 count. 2 count. 2 count. The rest of America top team are at ringside. Paige Van Zandt and the like. She's out there. The rest of them are out there supporting their boy, JDS. And I tell you what, Jericho has been taking an absolute beating in this ad break, but he comes back nice in step up enziguri to the back of Ethan Page's head. Time to turn around, time for that tag. He needs it. He needs it. Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, both there. And the tags happen. Sammy Guevara comes in. Kamagiri over the top of the rope. Springboard. Huge cutter off a double springboard. Spanish fly. Rolls up and then covers JDS for good work. Sammy Guevara standing, shooting star press into the pin. 1, 2. Sammy Guevara running wild right now. Running wild. Tags Jericho back in. Could be a mistake. Could be a mistake. Jericho tired. He's been battered for a while. But he's on top right now. A double. Nice springboard dropkick from Jericho. Over the top rope. He does the classic over the top rope. Runs to the top. Looking for the double axe handle. Hits it. Hits it. Hits the Lion Salt. Jericho hits the Lion Salt. 1, 2. Oh, ego breaks up the pin. A Lion Salt. Love that. Sammy Guevara takes out Ethan Page. JDS and Hager going off against each other. They roll to the outside and carry on their fight on the edge of the ring. Hager and Dos Santos absolutely brutalizing each other on the edge of the ring. JDS has him up. He's looking for the running power slam, maybe through a table on the outside. Hager replaces it. Picks him up. Side slam through the table. Junior Dos Santos is down through a table. Him and Hager are both down outside the ring. Junior Dos Santos looking like he's wearing swimming trunks. He's down. Big Uranagi through the table from Hager and Junior Dos Santos. And now Scorpio Sky and Jericho are the two men left standing, exchanging blows on their knees, forearm after forearm, clobbering each other. It's been the theme of the night and they're doing it again here. Jericho is in a lot of trouble, but hits the toe kick, tries to look for the code breaker. Scorpio Sky with a good response. Reversed. Looking for the Lion Tamer. He's looking for the Walls of Jericho. And he hits it. He's got the Lion Tamer in. He's got the Walls of Jericho in. Paige Van Zandt has jumped the rail and she's on the apron here. And Jorge Masvidal comes in and hits that big running knee strike. The one that he's knocked people out in UFC win. He hits it. It wasn't clean, but he's done it. And then Scorpio Sky rolls Jericho up. 1, 2, 3. It's done. An American top team. And the men of the year get the win. And the rest of American top team now jump into the ring and start laying the beat down on Chris Jericho alongside the men of the year. Paige Van Zandt is taking selfies while it happens with Jericho who's on the floor. Dan Lambert running his mouth. Jericho isolated, the only one standing from the inner circle from this match, getting absolutely battered in the middle of the ring. We knew Jericho was in trouble. Once everyone else had gone down and he'd been getting absolutely battered the entire break, you expected bad times for Chris Jericho, and it ends up even worse than you'd expect as the rest of American top team are just absolutely laying into Chris Jericho here. Arsehole chants being chanted at Dan Lambert. Shockingly. A Scorpio Sky is just choking Jericho out here as Ethan Page just screams at him. Junior Dos Santos is still down. Oh, and here comes Santana and Ortiz for the save. The other two members of the inner circle are out and they are going ham. They're running wild on the men of the year. Throw them out of the ring. Santana and Ortiz. LAX, proud and powerful, come back to save their inner circle members. The reformed, reunited inner circle. Save Chris Jericho towards the end of this match. Hager's back in. Sammy Guevara's back in. They're lifting him up. And we close out this episode of AEW Rampage with the Inner Circle standing tall, to some extent at least, in the center of the ring after a massive beatdown from American Top Team. It's not over, ladies and gentlemen. It's not over. I went to check what was happening on SmackDown. Realized that ended half an hour ago and football's on. For a League on, French football's happening. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was AEW Rampage. A good episode. A good episode with an unreal match on the build-up. An unreal match between Danielson and Suzuki. If you're vibing it, you should definitely go check that out, to be honest. It was amazing. I'm going to watch it again. West Ham Random Peach. Dope commentary. Feels like I'm watching a quality job, Maggie. Thank you very much, my friend. I love you. Yeah, you're an absolute legend. But yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is AEW Rampage. Hey, if you're new around here, subscribe. I don't quite know how this channel is going to work out. I don't know quite what I'm going to be doing with it yet, but something will be happening at some point. So get involved, you know. Come see something built from the very, very start. If you haven't already, come get involved. Because there's a lot going on. There's going to be a lot going on. But yeah, like the video if you haven't already as well. AEW Rampage. A good episode. A very good episode. You're looking towards that build-up. You're looking towards the build-up show. Where you had I missed Ty Conti versus Santana Garrett because I was setting this up, unfortunately. Bobby Fish versus Lee Moriarty was good from what I saw from it. And then Bryan Danielson versus Minoru Suzuki, an absolute barnstormer. When you're talking about how good this show was overall, you sort of have to include it because it was so good. And it's in the build-up, so you got to do it. And then the main show, of course, you start off with CM Punk versus Matt Sydal. Good match. Again, you like could go further, but it is a TV match. But again, it's just good work, innit? It's just good work. And it's good to see CM Punk and Matt Sydal. And again, old school wrestling moves that you don't see that often. Just big slams and whatnot. Good stuff. Ruby Soho versus the Bunny was good. A good, sensible, decent match. With the right winner, Ruby Soho there. And then, of course, Inner Circle versus the Men of the Year, Junior Dos Santos, American Top Team. Good stuff. Very good show. I'll probably end up doing more of these. I don't know when, and I don't know why, but I will. Maybe I'll do one tomorrow night for Dynamite. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff. I appreciate you for coming. Thank you very much, Andromeda G. Thank you, Wally World. Thank you, West Ham Random. Thank you, MK Osborne. And of course, thank you as well to Mia Onda and Submit Leet. I appreciate you all for coming. And yeah, I don't have anything sorted for like, do you know, I could probably figure out an end screen very quickly. I didn't, but I could. But yeah, appreciate you all for coming. Like I said, subscribe if you haven't already. Can I carry on talking until I find this? I probably can. How do you know the names of all the moves? Years of being sad. You watch enough wrestling, you pick it up over time, right? You watch enough wrestling, you pick it up over time. You figure out what Inziguri is. You figure out what this is, what that is. But yeah, wait, can I find it? Where is it? Where did I save it? I don't even remember where I've saved it. That's the problem. There it is. Okay. So, that is the show. Like I say, subscribe if you haven't already. All of that good stuff. Thank you very much for coming, everyone. I appreciate it, and I'll see you soon. See you later, everyone. Bye.